Alright, how you going again guys? Mason Corby here from Down Under Dynamics. So in this next video today I'm going to go over head up flying. So this is talking about head up angle flying. Alright, so this is something not so much new that people have been doing for a while. It's more so we're just kind of refining it now rather than just having one or two people doing it. We're able to start doing it in groups. Now the head up flying I'm going to be talking about today isn't steep. I'm going to be starting to talk about flatness and flying in groups of people, okay, and how to go flatter, and a bit of the basic controls, because the controls for flying flat are slightly different. They are actually the same as flying steep once you learn to control them flat. It's very similar to steep, but it's actually quite hard to go flat, and this is where a lot of people do cork out. Okay, so the same as the previous video I done, I'm not going to talk about right or wrong. I'm just going to talk about what happens when you do certain things. So this way, if you do the wrong thing, which isn't right or wrong, you at least know why that happened. All right, cool. So first I'll be covering 3 topics in this. 1 is levels, 2 basic controls, and then 3 is exits, so getting out of the plane. Okay, and then I might have a little bit of extra bloopers. We'll see how we go. So first is levels. So for levels, I mean feet level, just like head down. When we head down, we mean head levels. When we're belly, we just mean levels, looking across. And when we're tracking, we're generally talking about head levels as well. Okay, so for this, we're going to be using the feet as a reference. Okay, if we check this diagram out, you're going to see 2 black lines, the horizontal line, which is obviously for the horizon, and a vertical line, which shows the direct straight line down in free fall. Pink dotted line, which shows the direction of flight. Okay, and so the flight is not along the black lines. Okay, they're just a reference. You will actually move along the pink line. Okay, this line will vary in steepness depending on how vertical or shallow you are. Okay, if you're extremely shallow, this may start to become a bit more like vertical. Essentially, you're stalling. Okay, so it's more like back flying with a slight forward movement rather than flat tracking. Just keep this in mind. Okay, so head up belly. This way, you can go flat. You can go very flat, and you can keep up quite quickly with head down flies as well. Head up forwards ways, it's a little bit harder because you got the rig. It's just the rig. Okay, if we had no rig, we'd probably move forward just as much as the belly. Okay, it's just aerodynamics. Yeah. You also see 3 colors of flies: the green, which is the belly flies, out face in the tunnel. Blue fly, which is the back angles, okay, so in face, head up flying in the tube, and then the red flies, which is the flies that are off level or in the danger zone. Okay, now when I say off level, it really depends and needs to be defined before the jump what the goal is for the head levels, or in this case feet levels. Okay, you can have it set up in a way that all flyers are on a 45 from the leader, just like this. So you'll see the 2 other red dudes, but this needs to be stated. If they are on various angles, this can have some issues for people, corking out of position and hitting each other and all this kind of stuff. So for the purposes today, I'm going to talk about what I believe is the most efficient feet level. Okay, and this is going to be using the horizon. Okay, so I believe, as I said, this is the best approach for the maximum performance, which I'll talk about later, and for the safest. Okay, so in saying that, the reason the red are in the no-fly zone, you'll see the bottom right guy, if he corks from this position, he's going to hit other flies. Okay, there's people he will cork into above him. The guy on the bottom left, he may cork into the leader. Okay, the guy on the top left, he might not cork into anyone, but he may have someone cork into him. The guy on the top right, he may have the same issue. Okay, now the best spot to be in, personally, I think, is on the horizontal line, and approach horizontally rather than from above diving down or from below. Okay, but in saying this, it is just a recommendation. It is still does work to approach from the below or approach from above. This is just safety and max performance. As we said before, for all other skydives, get on level and then approach. LSD, level, slot, dock. Okay, it's no different for head up moving. Level first, get in your slot, and then fly in. Okay, so this first video, you'll see most people are on level. Okay, there are actually 3 leaders in this group: Keithy on the left, myself in the middle, and Antonio on the right. Okay, so using these groups we can see the followers and their levels compared to the respective leader. If you look first towards Keith in the green helmet, you'll see a black suit, he's in black suit, and on the left you will see Steve in the white just next to him on his belly. Okay, he's on level. Now from what we were showing before, the leader with the leader and matching the horizon. We see Larissa all in black on level, and Tom slightly lower off level, and finally one straggler in the group way below off level, needing to come up onto the horizon to approach. Okay, so that's the levels for this group. Next is myself, Mason, leading the group. We have Sam on his belly behind me, and you can see he's slightly higher than the rest of the group. It's pretty much on level. Okay, distance may be large, but they are generally on level. Okay, next is Antonio in the blue helmet, who has one off level on their belly. I'll let you guys guess who that is. I'd say it's probably Mr. Staroropi in the grey. Then a straggler out back, who I think is actually in another group. We will move to the second video now. Now we will see pretty much everyone completely on level. Okay, so this is the correct version of formation. Not slots so much, but we're looking at the level here. Okay, so the level of them, bam, spot on. I'll just let this one play out a little bit. Okay, cool. So we can see the difference in ability and in flatness there too, but all are still on level, and this is what we're aiming to look at first. Okay, so now some basic controls. Okay, so first I'll explain the three variations. You will see in this diagram 3 objects. Now we went through this before in the relaxed video and general controls kind of video. The bottom is a key to show the relative wind. Okay, so to the left you will see the more cupped position, catching air and putting it more of an upward movement. Okay, so just looking at aerodynamics, you can probably guess why this is. Okay, different surface area, cupping, pushing it that way. The middle is traveling more on the trajectory it's pointing. Okay, and it's slipping right down, and the right is more going a bit more vertical down. Okay, because it doesn't have as much surface area pushing it in a direction, but it is still pushing because it's slightly slipping off. Okay, I know there's no heads on this, but this is just general aerodynamics. Okay, you'll see this next picture, you can also see it's probably going to be similar to more that arching one. Okay, so it's a bit more of a sit position like that. Now the other variations we can do to our body is to maintain the middle position but change the pitch throughout the movement. Okay, this is changed with the feet if we're maintaining this, not with the arms. Okay, if we're doing it with the arms, it's more acting like drag because we're presenting drag rather than letting the feet slip up, and that's more keeping the aerodynamic position with the body and letting the body fly up more. Okay, as soon as we start causing drag or arching, this is causing drag at the top, it's going to take us up, but it's also going to slow us down, so it's going to kill some speed. Okay, now the last I'll quickly explain before moving on is the front profile. In the first video we talked about this as well, and in this one we have wider legs making it go slower. Here you are presenting the inner calves and the inner thighs to the wind, and also the arms. It doesn't have to be both, but it can also be both. Okay, each one will have a different reaction depending on which pitch you're at. Okay, and then the next you have the fast speed, which are less presentation. Same as before, you can do both or you can do the other, just one or the other. Okay, ideally front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. Cool, so that's what we're going for. Cool, yeah. So please be aware though that these are variations and will have different flight characteristics than the others I explained. They are not right or wrong, just give a different but similar reaction. Okay, please think of these all as having their own different aerodynamic properties. Don't go out there and try to do these positions and wonder why it's not going to happen. Do these positions that I'm saying, and if something different happens, well, that's what happens for the position you just did. Okay, don't keep going, why isn't it working, why isn't it working, why isn't it working? Go out, what happens if I do this? Okay, well, guess what? That's what happens. Cool. Put that in your memory bank. That might help you down the path for later on. Cool. Now in this video I'll explain how to use just the legs and to adjust a position that is off level. For this we are spreading the legs and using the inner part of them, the thighs and the calves, to cause drag and make a variation in speed. Note we are just isolating the legs and keeping the torso on the same pitch and not moving it out of shape or adjusting it in any way. It's staying there, and we're traveling this direction along that pink line that you saw before, okay? Not forward or backwards. Next, we'll see the same in this next one, but my body's a bit more arched, and you can see that arms, okay? So they're not being used fully, but just using the tricep region, just under here, okay? You'll see them extend, and then once they become engaged, the body slows down and starts moving up into position. Okay, both these clips are showing a very similar movement, but one using the legs and one using the arms. It's a different part of the body, okay? As I said, both have different reactions. You can use these techniques to get on level or off level if you need, or if you're lower or higher, you can use them to accelerate, decelerate. Just please be aware that they are only operating on one axis of flight, not moving forward or backward. We're talking about the presentation of legs, like the surface area of this, okay? Not this. Front profile, not side profile. Okay, so the next we're going to talk about gaining speed through flatness and changing the flatness. So if we want to go faster, flattening the body out. If we want to go steeper, steepening the body down. Okay, so steeper, flatter, steeper, flatter. Now you're going to see in this video, it's a similar one as before, nice and flat, and then you'll see all of a sudden I engage those legs just slightly and I start coming down. Okay, and I start dropping and gaining that speed down, and then I transition to come back over. Okay, so I'm talking a lot here about the in-face position. Okay, the out-face position is just the same. Okay, it's just widening, closing, widening, closing. Now we're going to see in this next one, Antonio, he does this little cup thing that I was talking about before. He does it with his legs. He does not do it with his hips or his torso. You'll note as you see him coming up, he's nice and straight, nice and straight, nice and straight, and he's kind of maintaining that speed with me. And all of a sudden, bang, he kinks at the knees and he just shoots off that little bit. Okay, so this here's key too, is just knowing at which part to arch the body, not the torso, not adding here, because this is adding tension, as I've said before in the previous video. Tension causes instability. You're probably going too much rather than relaxation. So you're just going through those necessary gears you need to push you forward in that direction. Now, another thing you'll see in these videos here is the position of the head. Now this is extremely important, okay? There's many ways to do the head. When people say put your head back, they can mean many things. Head back is in, if we look at my body from a side profile now, you can see I can put my head back this way, and you'll see on the back here, there's a bit of hiding the corners is what we call it, okay? Or I can put my head back, and eventually I'm missing all this, so there's no surface area. Or I can put my head back, and this is what we mean by head back. Cool. So you'll see here, he's got his head back in this direction. And the other key thing you'll notice is his head is behind his arms. So he's actually looking under his arms at me. Okay, you'll see the arms as well, they're relaxed, and you'll see when I go slowly through this video, the point of where I actually start losing lift is where my hand starts cupping and becoming tense. Oh, really strong like this. So this is where I've obviously started stressing and I've seized, okay, because it's a new feeling for me, and I've started lolling, seizing up. Now, then it relaxes again, then we get that lift. So this is where you want to really try and relax, keep the arms in front of your body, head back, head up and back, like it's pulling from the crown, okay? So these are the key ones for in-face moving. All right, so that's just the general positions. Now, the only other thing we're going to explain, is the arms. Don't think about pushing the arms back on the wind, okay? Because as I said before, this is like drag up the top. It's going to slow you down. It's not going to push you forward. Any pressure you feel is drag. Any time you feel pressure on your body is drag, and drag is slowing you down. If you don't feel pressure, you're going fast. Okay, so less pressure, the faster you're going. The more pressure, the slower you're going. So in saying that, we want to straighten our arms up, keeping them in line with the body. If we want to change the pitch, leave the arms relaxed. change the pitch, controlling all the pitch with the legs. Okay, it's the same as when we're head down, we're controlling from the torso, from the head. Now we're controlling from the legs. This can be difficult. A lot of people say, what happens? I keep corking up. I can't control my legs. I can't keep them strong. What have I said before? Don't be strong. It feels like you're corking up. You're trying to go up. Cork. Go up. Go with it. Let it take you. Each time you do it, as I said, don't try to do this on a 10-way. Don't go out on an 8-way and try, I'm going to learn how to do this. Go and do a 2-way. 2 ways for days. They are the best. Do a 2-way. Okay? Let yourself cork. See what happens. Go up, do 10 of them, 20 of them, 30 of them, 50 of them. 2 ways are the best. Yeah, I guarantee you do this, bam, you're going to be killing it. Alright? 2-way. 2 ways for days. Experiment. Try to cork out and try to notice the feeling of the tension within the legs, because we've got to control the legs to go flat, not the arms. They're like the spaghetti wavy arm man. Like this. Use the legs. It's all the legs. Faster, slower, faster, slower. Okay, so that's going to give you that side motion. Okay, as I said, it takes time. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to go through is, actually, I'll go back. Okay, so the next thing I will say is when we're going from really steep and then we want to start going flat. For this, you need to slow down. It's like if you head down and you maintain the position and you go to track off and then they just cork. It's because we need to accelerate down and then go, or we need to slow down, change the pitch and then accelerate. Okay, so this can be done with the arms. This is when you can use the arms. I'm head up, going fast, okay. I'm at my max down fast. Okay, I can't go any faster down. So if I go now, I'm just gonna cork. I slow down with the arms, causing the drag at the tail end of the body, changing the level, and then accelerating again. Okay, this is in face. Now if I do it the other one, belly, max down, hold, change the pitch, accelerate, and then I can start flat. Now if you're already kind of going slow at this, don't just change the pitch. Okay, kind of going slow, accelerate, then change, so it's more like a scoop. Okay, so they're the 2 different versions. Your max fast, slow down, change, go. You're slowish, accelerate and go. They're the 2 types. Okay, so you'll need to learn to use the legs for the inner calves. They're the big important part of this. Knee flying in the tunnel helps. Massive. Okay, cool. Next one we're going to talk about is exits. Okay, so you're going to see in these 2 videos the exits. Now the key for exiting is all to do with the setup. You want to have your weight shifted forward if you're on your belly, and you want to have your weight shifted back if you're on your back. So the key is hand placement and foot placement. If I'm on my belly, you'll see in this video, I come out, I grab behind me, I leave my feet on the plane and I lean forward. When I go ready, set, go, the last thing to leave the plane is my legs. So I'm letting the torso fall onto the wind. As it's falling onto the wind, I'm almost to my belly, then I hop off. Okay, it's the same with the other one. I'm going to climb out, set up, so you're leaning right back, and then you're grabbing on the wind, on the plane, your feet are forward, and then you're falling back. Okay, you're letting the torso go back, and once you're kind of back, then you can pick the point where you can push the legs in. Don't try to jam the legs down, don't try to be hard with the legs. If anything, the legs want to be quite relaxed and just feeling where that pressure is. Okay, so not strong, not hop off and adapt the position. If anything, get used to falling off and screwing the exit up and recovering from the exit. You're better off screwing the exit up and learning to recover from a shit exit than trying to do perfect exits all the time. Okay, because when you do fuck an exit, or when you do screw an exit up, then you know how to recover it quicker. Whereas if you've only done perfect exits before and then you get bumped, guess what? You're on a 10-way and you're going to get left behind. All right, 8-way, you're going to get left behind. So don't be afraid of cooking the exit. The key is to, if you're back flying, in face, fall back. As you fall back, pick that point, accelerate the legs. If you're on the other one, fall on the belly. Okay, just like this, boom, you see Antonio almost goes on his belly on this one. He's almost, his legs are above his head. Okay, and you'll see on the next couple of videos, look at this, the guy's getting off, they're all tumbling, bam, recovering super quick. Okay, and now they're motoring up. All right, so the key is not to adapt the position straight away, it's just to recover from shitty positions, and eventually you're gonna get it, you're gonna nail it. That's every time, because you'll know, okay, I know this feeling, I've cooked that feeling before there, As I said, rather than why does this not work, what happens if I do this? Know what you're doing and learn from it. Screw it up twice, at least that way you've confirmed it. Okay, yeah, I screwed it up. That's what that does. Give it a go. Cool. Now the next video is just showing that I've just talked out my ass for the last 20 minutes or so, because good old Brent just comes through and he just approaches from the exact place we didn't, and he just nails it. Okay, so check that out, have fun. If you have any questions, guys, please leave it in the comments below. I will be updating this video, as I said, same as the other one. Hop over, subscribe, and like the page. Cheers.